شركة كلمة للدواجن، صرح اقتصادي عملاق في عالم صناعة الدواجن. أهلا بكم في أرض الكنانة، أهلا بكم من صعيد مصر، من قنا والأقصر، حيث الموارد البشرية والاقتصادية والسياحية.
نستمع لهذه ونبدأ الآن بهذه الكلمة لمسؤول شركة MeUn from Germany.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody back after lunch. I'd like to take you into the world of poultry processing. I'm extremely honored to be here to introduce the company that I represent, MeUn Food Processing Technology, for such a distinguished audience, such a fantastic project, this integration which is going to be set up in Upper Egypt. I was already impressed by the project after representatives visited our company, but after seeing the video I realized it's even a much bigger project than I thought so. I'll start with a very quick introduction of myself, then the company that I represent, and very briefly the solutions. I joined MeUn 13 years ago. The green-colored countries are the countries where I've had activities. From the beginning, I've been coming to Egypt. Actually, already from '98, I've been coming to Egypt, and it is always good to be back here. MeUn has been very lucky to have installed virtually all processing plants in Egypt. MeUn as a company is the world leader in supplying poultry processing solutions. If we look at the companies that we sold to are, for example, Cairo Poultry, Albatania, Dakalia, Alsanta, Mr. Ismailia Poultry, etc. If we look at MeUn, well, like I said, it is in one way a relatively small company. It's only about 1,000 people. At the same time, in what we do, poultry processing, we are the biggest in the world. We have a long and colorful history. We work with 3 manufacturing facilities, 2 in Europe, 1 in the US. And our business model is trying to be close to the customer, either through our own office, of which we have 16, or our agents, of which we have 40. The company was founded as a family business. 38 years family business, 15 years private equity. And then the last 4 years we have been in the hands of Mr. Warren Buffett through CTB. CTB is a company in which we are a business unit, which is present in the whole poultry integration. Feed milling, poultry, farm equipment. One of our sister companies, Roxel, will also present today, also part of the group. And CTB itself is one of the 80 companies within Berkshire Hathaway, which in itself is good for more than 240 billion US dollars in turnover. Our business is solutions. The solutions that we develop are focused on the challenges of our customers. On a daily basis, our customers are challenged by an increased quality, yield, animal welfare, cost of ownership. So consistently, continuously, we have to come up with innovations to make life easier for the poultry processors, for them in order to focus on their primary task and make a good living of it. What is it exactly that we supply? Very simple. from a live bird which arrives at the poultry processing plant all the way to a nice cut up, deboned, packaged product which comes out. All the equipment necessary to do that in between is the equipment which is supplied by MeUn. We do that in different capacities. The high end today is 15,000 birds per hour, incredibly fast. However, at the same time, we have never neglected the lower line speeds. For example, for already 1,300 birds per hour, we also have an economical, viable business model. Small people become bigger players, and bigger players again. So now I'd like to touch briefly the scope of the project, the solutions that we have, and then I'll wrap up. Like already being presented earlier, the scope is 6,000 birds per hour. This is a greenfield project which is ideal. That means that you can set up a plant with a logical process flow. So when we look at the processing plant, from arrival, defeathering, evisceration, we go in a straight line to where a nice product is coming out of the plant. I only like to highlight a few technologies in each department. Naturally, in the arrival department, the killing will be according to halal regulations. Then when we move into the defeathering department, there are many processing steps, but the key processing steps in defeathering is scalding and plucking. So the bird goes into a warm water bath to make it easy to get the feathers off during plucking. Now when we look at the scalder, we have a unique technology where we do not use any air. Now you may think, what is so special about not using air? Conventional scalders, they needed air in order to make sure that the bird would not flow out of the shackle. We have created a water stream without air to make sure that the bird will stick in the shackle. The huge benefit of this is that water is a much better heat transmitter than air. So therefore, the scalding result will be much better. Second benefit is that you will not have the humidity which you usually have in this area, and we will not have the bad smell. Furthermore, energy costs come down, and because it is such an easy system to maintain, the maintenance costs come down. Cost of ownership is basically very low. When we move to the next department, in the evisceration department, where we clean the bird by taking out the intestines and harvesting the giblets that you can eat, the key processing step is the eviscerator, which in the MeUn world is called the maestro. What is so special by this maestro? This maestro is by far the most sold eviscerator in the world. Our biggest competitor has sold only half of this number. The reason is that our system has a unique way of getting the intestines out of the bird. A particular spoon which has been patented, which is not damaging the intestines, which would otherwise cause cross-contamination or would damage the very valuable giblets, like an A-quality liver. And at the same time, we do that for a very wide weight range. When you look at this graph, I assume that many of you know that this is an ordinary flock distribution, because the challenge is that not one bird is the same, and all of them, they have to be processed in an incredibly fast way with a high yield and a high quality. Our closest competitor can only do roughly half of an ordinary flock while we can do 95% of this floor. This is a key distinguishment between us and other players in the market and why we are so successful with our eviscerator. After evisceration, the birds need to be chilled. For this, the spin chilling technology is introduced. After the birds are chilled, you want to be able to find a final destination for them. I'm going to sell them as a whole bird. Am I going to cut them up or debone? For that, we have the combination of weight and grade, which is the final step, which determines the destination. Here I would like to conclude my short introduction to the company. Thank you for your attention, and I'd like to give the word back to the nice lady to introduce the next company. Thank you.